let's fix the college football playoff. Why don't we? I think I could fix the college football playoff in 7 steps. We have 7 steps to fix the college football playoff. This is how I would fix the college football playoff, to keep it simple. No more expansion. We are done expanding. I cannot emphasize that enough. 24 teams is egregious. It would ruin the regular season. That's not a over-exaggeration. That is not me just trying to repeat what everyone has been saying since when we went from 4 to 12. I promise you, that is the final nail in the coffin. And frankly, I think anything past 12, even if we go to 16, if we go to 18, it's always going to be the next number if we continue to expand. You have to put your foot down and say enough is enough, because you continue to wear down the value of the regular season. If you're a team like Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, you look at the regular season and you say, yeah, we could lose this game, this game, this game, adds up to 3. We'll still make it into the college football playoff, all fine and dandy. And I think Texas is a good example. They could lose maybe to Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and then a game against like Georgia or Alabama. They'll make the college football playoff just fine. That's not the world I want this sport to live in. So expansion, and we're staying at 12, is rule number 1. And I'm trying to keep this semi-realistic for the sake of, in my perfect world, we're looking at, I don't know, maybe a 4-team playoff. I would be fine with the BCS era coming back, to be truthful with you, but that's for another day. That's a completely different topic that would probably take another 8 minutes to talk about. I think the second step that we have to do is the 2 rounds of home playoff games. You see the red line on the graphic to my right. The red line is there for obvious reasons. As soon as you get to the semifinals and the national championship, we're on neutral sites. You could do the Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl. You know the whole ordeal. As it currently stands, once you get to the conference championship level and the quarterfinals, you're then going to these neutral site games. And I think if we're trying to value getting a bye game, because what we're seeing in the past 2 iterations of the 12-team playoff is the bye week is really not as valuable as it's being showcased, as it's being shown. And so I think if you allow a team to be sitting at home and really get to play at home and enjoy the home environment advantage, which is so true in college football. It's the core of college football, is the passion, and you are going to continue to incentivize having those home playoff games. The third thing goes to the 6 auto bids that I would actually keep. The first thing we have to understand, if we are going to have an honest conversation about the state of college football, yes, there is the Power 4. You have the best Big 10 teams, the SEC, ACC, Big 12. They are not on a level playing field. You just had an 8-5 ACC program win the conference. The Big 12 got their champion in and got smacked around by an Oregon team that didn't win or didn't even attend the Big 10 championship. There is a gap between the Big 10 and the SEC compared to the Big 12 in the ACC. Can we acknowledge that? Can we be honest for a second? Okay, fair. So I think you have the top 2 teams in the SEC and the Big 10 play for conference championship weekend. The value of that conference championship is an automatic bid to go to the quarterfinals to have a home playoff game in the next round. You then get your bye week, but you also get the home playoff advantage, which I think would incentivize those games to still be valuable. You are guaranteed to get at least one ACC or Big 12 team in, those being the winners of the conference championship. They as well get an automatic bye. You could run into a case where an 8-5 Duke team is technically the number 4 seed, but it is what it is. I understand that could be something that what we saw with Boise State jumping up. I don't have the group of 5 in here. I'm expecting these conferences to be good. I'm expecting these conferences to be solidified and better than what we have been seeing from the ACC. I'm not trying to bash the ACC the whole time, but they're easily the weakest link out of the four conferences right now. But that doesn't guarantee the runner-up of the ACC is getting in. That doesn't guarantee a BYU. If they're good enough, they'll make an automatic bid, or they'll make a at-large spot. But I do think if you make it to the SEC championship, if you do make it to the Big Ten championship, you get the automatic bid. More times than not, you'll probably still make it at an at-large spot, but I want to incentivize making it to that conference championship. I think we've talked about the fourth step a little bit with number 3. The conference title winner gets the bye week. I mainly did that just to have it organized to incentivize conference championship weekend. I'm fine with it being a play-in across the board, but I think if we're de-incentivizing the SEC and the Big Ten runner-ups, the better conferences, I think they should get the incentive to want to be in those conference championship games. Fifth step would be the Group of 5 playoff. I've said it for weeks, months, maybe even years at this point. I think the Group of 5 should have their own playoff. It's not to disrespect the play style and the talent that's in there. I just think we would find more entertaining and competitive games across the board. There's videos on this page. If you want to see real deep dive breakdowns on why I think the Group of 5 would be better for the sport, you could go find it. I'm just saying this would be a part of the overall plan for fixing the college football playoff. Now, we've talked about the rankings. It'd be 1 through 4 of ranking the conference champions and then the at-large spots. By the way, there's no Notre Dame automatic bid in here. I think this is such a key fix that I think could be implemented even to like a realistic college football playoff. Reseeding. I think reseeding would do such wonders within the college football playoff. I truly believe it. You see it in the NFL. It would incentivize trying to be the number 1, the number 2, the number 3 seed versus being the 4 seed in the college football playoff and then getting run-ins with the 5 seed who was the outside looking in, who just faced off against the 12 seed Group of 5 team. And it seems like the 5 seed is the best thing since sliced bread because you also don't have to deal with a bye and you get a warm-up or a tune-up game at home. And then you have to go face in a neutral site like we just saw with Oregon. I think if you reseed them, it really incentivizes wanting to be a higher seed, especially if you're a conference champion. And I think as we get closer to the championship, you will start to define the real elite teams as you get more balanced matchups. And the last thing, it's a little bit of an asterisk because I don't think this is a a guaranteed thing. I don't think it has to be like this, but I will stand on my take. Rose Bowl should be in the national championship. I think the Rose Bowl is the perfect venue for college football. I think it is the epitome of college football. I understand it is such a money grab and there's so many other stadiums and venues that should get the opportunity to host the national championship, which, by the way, in this perfect scenario, we're having the national championship on a Saturday. Our sport, our Saturday makes sense. But as well, I think if you're going to go down that path, it should be in the Rose Bowl. I think this is the perfect way of doing the college football playoff in a realistic sense. I could easily do a path where we're talking about the college football playoff in an unrealistic point of view where I'm doing everything that I would do. And if you want to see that, there's a comment section for a reason. So let me know if you want to see that. But this is the perfect college football playoff format, in my opinion.